So we're gonna do a little tribute to the Skylights right now. So a couple of our guys in our band are jazz majors in high school and college. So we thought we'd take something, a little jazz classic that the Skylights did their thing to. This one's called Scaravan.
Hey, hey, hey! It's time for another edition of what's the show called? Oh yeah, Ska Talk with Mr. Kingpin. I'm your host, Johnny Bravo, and this is not Danny Raddick, even though that's what it says down there. So I'm going to fix that in a second. This is Ray Vargas.
What up, man?
Ray Vargas, and tell us a little bit about what the band that you're in.
Well, I do a lot of different stuff. Like my main band is probably Rhythm Ambassadors, and that's kind of like traditional ska, rocksteady. And then I also do Hammer Bros, which is like kind of doing like traditional Jamaican roots, like interpretations of like video game music. And then I do Vanity Avenue, which is like, you know, like a 311, like almost.
What?
Yeah, called Vanity Avenue. They haven't been around forever in Bakersfield.
I haven't heard about that one.
No? Yeah, I have to send you some stuff, dude. And then sometimes I play with Matamoska. I've been playing with Matamoska lately.
Nice.
That's been fun. With the big Papi Esteban.
I know. He's everybody's musician.
For real. He's everybody's keyboard player.
So where are you based out of?
Bakersfield, California, unfortunately.
Oh, come on. You got Chris.
People know the feels.
Yeah, Chris is in here. He's like, "What's up, brother?"
What's up, Greesh?
And hello to John Hartman. Greesh. John from Chicago. And so cool, man. Well, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It's been a great episode, and we appreciate your time.
No, anytime, man.
So we'll see you later. I'm just kidding.
All right. Is this when the intervention starts?
Yeah, this was not really a podcast.
This is where you tell me that I've had a problem.
Yes. Your problem is you're too good. This guy, let me tell you, I think he can play anything that he picks up. You're one of these guys, right? Because I've seen you pick up a lot of stuff and play it very well.
I can't play keys at all. I'm really bad. I can play bass, guitar, drums. I played some trumpet back in the day, but it's been way since like middle school.
So the other day, you posted a video because you got yourself a cool guitar.
Yeah.
And you were jamming out. But I've heard you play really good leads and solos and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man.
Aside from that video, yeah.
I tried, man. I tried. I don't know. I normally play in like really small bands, you know, like Vanity Avenue is 4 people.
Uh-huh.
So it's like one of us has to take a solo, you know? So like, that's kind of how I learned, is just by being forced into it. You know, we used to have a trombone player who used to do he used to do all the solos. And then eventually, he was a big dude like me. He was like older by like maybe about 10 years, but he was a big dude, and he would be like, "Yo, I'm tired. You take the solo." And I'm like, "Wow, you're the soloist." And he's like, "Nope, you gotta learn. You have to learn eventually." And like, he just threw me into the swimming pool with like no floaties on, and just like watched me like wade around in the water.
So guitar is your first instrument then?
The trumpet.
Oh, trumpet's your first instrument.
Trumpet, and then I broke it. and then they had a guitar class in high school, and that's where I kind of started playing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kill it. Also, which I'm burying the lead here, but you also play a mean bass guitar, which you we had the honor of having you lay down all the bass for Mr. Kingpin's album, which is coming out this summer. Man, and then I find this out after that you've never done bass on an album or even for a band or anything, but you had the feel of the reggae feel, you had the ska feel, you had the soul feel, like it was all there, man.
Thanks, man. I don't know. I remember when I first got tapped to do it, Esteban was like, hey homie, I have this dude coming down from Texas, say, and he wants to record an album. Maybe you want to do guitar on it? I was like, yeah, sure. And so we set up a day, and I go down and I bring all my guitar gear, and you guys are recording drums. I'm like, I'll wait. And we get to the end of the thing, and the end of the day, and you guys had just gotten through the drums, and I was like, I guess I'll just finish this at home or whatever.
I felt bad about that.
No, it was fine. I just hung out, I was like, all right.
I'm glad
you guys probably just thought you guys were just gonna get it done faster, because that's always the we have a whole day, we could get 20 songs done, no big deal. But
why do we always fall into that trap?
Yeah.
Why? We know that that's not going to happen. We set up the equipment. It takes
not a single time has that tactic worked out for anybody.
No. And yet we keep falling for it every time we're going to do a recording session. It's crazy.
Every single time, dude.
Oh, they want to know how you broke your trumpet.
Oh my God. Okay, so all right. So this is basically just confessional now, or what?
Yeah, sure.
I sat on it.
That's definitely a way to break it.
I did not remember that I left it on my chair, and I sat on it. And I wasn't as heavy as I am now, but I was still a pretty big kid, so I bent it. And then I think we were renting it at the time. So my mom was like, I'm not gonna get you another trumpet, you're just gonna sit on it again. And I'm like, well, fucking thanks, Mom.
Oh man. And there went your trumpeting career.
Mm-hmm. There it went. I could have been the next Louis Armstrong.
Man.
My cheeks aren't big enough though.
That's actually a very wrong way to play a trumpet.
Well, it's funny because I play left-handed, and that's because I play trumpet. Because when I play trumpet, I used to do the notes with the right hand.
Yeah.
So I just got used to this being my, for lack of a better term, fingering hand.
Oh.
Fretting hand. I'm sorry. Yeah, fretting hand.
Yeah, that's the other thing. This guy's a left-handed player, which of course, that's really hard to find. Sometimes good quality instruments.
Which is cool. I always say we should fire Eddie and get a left-handed bass player in Matamoska. That way we could all be three left-handed. He's the only other dude I've been in a band with who's also left-handed. Eddie is amazing though, by the way. I'm just joking. But yeah, we're it looks evil, on stage, we're both left-handed, so it just looks like evil or something. I don't know how to explain it. Looks menacing.
That's cool, man. Yeah, left-handed, but then you also play right-handed guitars with the strings backwards, I heard.
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, it's not as comfortable, but I can do it.
That blows my. I actually saw somebody do that at a ska fest. V Sonnets from the Crombies in Chicago.
Was he still doing upstrokes, or was he doing downstrokes?
Actually, I don't remember now, but I do know that I was watching his hands, and I was tripping out because I was like, wait a second, he's playing left-handed, but everything the strings are the way they should be. And I hit him up after. I was like, did you just play a regular guitar backwards? And that's how he learned it. Jesus.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to that guy, whoever that guy is. Shout out to you, bro. What's funny is that on the opposite, Chris Bourbon, he can do the same thing with my guitars, because we've hung out for so long that he can do the same thing on a left-handed guitar. He could kind of figure it out now.
That's great. I didn't even know he played guitar until a couple weeks ago. He was jamming and he hits me up on a video chat, and he was jamming on something, showing me something. I was like, oh man, I didn't know you play guitar.
Oh yeah. Chris is a great guitar player, dude.
And I have to say, I also caught a video of you practicing some ska chops on the drums.
Yeah, dude.
But you got a good one drop going on.
Yeah, I learned because I had my godson at the time. He was really into Well, I mean, he's still my godson, but you know what I mean. At the time, my godson, he was I had just gotten him into ska, and he wanted to learn how to play an instrument. So you want to learn how to play drums, but you want to learn how to play ska drums. So I kind of had to, watch Chris, kind of figure it out on my own too. And like, that's kind of how I learned. I never really, yeah. So it's not a necessity, the bass thing. The reason why I have a bass is just because I record demos.
Yeah.
It's not to play bass. I just happened to have it when you were like, hey, can you do bass? I was like, oh yeah, I have a bass around here somewhere. Like,
see, now I do that too. Like, look.
Oh, there we go.
So,
closet bass player.
So I do, like, for demos and stuff, I do too. And
must.
But then when I heard your bass lines, I was like, nah, this guy's got it covered. Like, I shouldn't be. I should not be doing bass lines. Because one thing is,
I don't know. I had to reach out to Chris a couple times on some stuff because, like, I'm not really, like, I know of skinhead reggae, but I'm not exactly, like, I am not 100% well versed to where I could, like, just crank out a completely authentic skinhead bass line off the top of my head. So I had to call Chris, and he kind of like was like, oh yeah, this, he kind of like walked me through it. I was like, okay, I get it, repetitive, like that.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. It's good to, especially right now, to be able to use your artistic talents during this whole year and a half, going on a year and a half already, right?
Yep. Oh man. So
what have you been up to during pandemic? Have you been keeping yourself busy?
Yeah, I have. Well, doing a lot of the Hammer Bros stuff. That's been kind of.
That's right. Tell us what that is, because this is really cool.
Okay, so I have been talking about this idea with Esteban for a while. I mean, it's an idea I had for years, but I kind of didn't have the personnel to make it happen. But I wanted to do like take Koji Kondo songs or other like great composers and just kind of. And it's not like take every song and make it ska, but it just takes songs that kind of already sound ska and kind of fill in the gaps, And it's been working out really good, man. I mean, like some of the tracks I think people are gonna really like. And we kind of try to cover like everything. So like there's some third wave, there's some traditional, there's some guru, some rock steady, some reggae. So it's like pretty much for everybody, It's like I try to keep it very diverse. Like I don't take something that sounds really fast and try to slow it way down.
Right.
Sky, I try to find where it's closest to and kind of lock it in.
Yeah, I heard you had put out a snippet of a Zelda tune.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that sounds so good.
Yeah, actually, I was just talking to our friend at Scott Cork Hotel, and they were saying that we may or may not be doing something with them.
Breaking news.
Yeah, but I was told not to say for sure, but it's pretty much going down.
Oops.
But but it's gonna be Zelda most likely. The theme is gonna be Zelda, and so we have two songs. I think it's gonna be pretty sick, dude. Like when I forgot what comp he came out with. He needed an extra song, and I was like, well, I could throw together that Zelda one I was working on, and people seem to really like it. And I was really surprised. I thought people would be like, there's no horns and nothing, but
yeah.
People seem to dig it. And then we have Robert from Matamoska. He's helping me out with the horns. I got Fritz from Steady 45s on a couple tracks. I'm sure Lisa's going to be throwing down a couple tracks. Some of my dudes from Rhythm Ambassadors. Once I find a vocal tune, I'm sure I'll get you in there somewhere.
Bro, have you got any Street Fighter stuff?
I was thinking about Ken's stage a couple weeks ago, actually. I've been on that one recently, actually.
I'll play the triangle on that.
Amazing. Hey, see, you gotta carve your niche, man.
Yeah, man. That's a good niche what you're doing, because I've seen other projects that did video games, and mostly I think the really successful ones, and it lends itself to like metal music.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And
me and Chris messed with Power Glove. You ever heard of Power Glove? Power Glove is sick. There was a couple of other ones. I like the One Ups. Super Soul Bros is one of my favorite though. That's a big inspiration right there. Those guys.
And the cool thing is, that you guys could get into the convention circuit.
Yeah, that is the hope.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Because there's a band here, and I hope they're still around, but their name is Droideka.
Oh yeah. You were telling me about that last time.
Yeah, and they're from around here, and they did a lot of video game style music, and they were playing conventions and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
That's rad, dude. I gotta look them up.
But yeah, your stuff sounds super legit, so I'm excited to hear what that's going to be. So, Rhythm Ambassadors.
Yes.
When did you guys start playing?
I think it's been about 5 years. It started off with me and my godson wanted to do a ska band, the same one I taught drums. But that didn't work out, and so originally it was me, my godson, Armando Joe Vasquez, who was the trombone player for Mental Brew here in town. They used to be on Moon Ska Records and stuff. And then Patrick, who plays for Capsules and Rhythm Ambassadors. And then once Mondo left or whatever, then we picked up Chris, and then eventually we picked up Idiro. And then, And then, the horn players don't matter. And,
ooh.
I was just joking. But yeah, it was pretty cool, man. We like play like traditional ska, rock steady, and we try to kind of try to contribute as much as we can, trying to, like, I always like the phrase from Ska Life where they said, like at the beginning of Guns N' Navarone, where they're like, we took the music from the movie and we put it to the ska or whatever. Like, that's kind of like the whole the crux or whatever of Hammer Bros and Rhythm Ambassadors, is like kind of taking our influences and kind of melding them with the traditional ska and stuff, so that you can hear the influence, but it's still ska. It doesn't stray from being too traditional.
Yeah.
But that's what I love. Like Occupation being that Beatles song and all the jazz standards they did. I mean, that's like my favorite part about the Skylights for sure.
Yep.
Interpretation, man. Interpretations.
Yeah, they're like
those like weird interpretations in movies now, where it'll be like a completely innocuous, like fun song that they make ominous.
Oh, like, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like, like
the one
that artistic interpretations. I love it, dude. Yeah.
The one that sticks out for me for that is the Pinocchio Ain't Got No Strings on Me. They did like a creepy version of that for Age of Ultron.
Oh my god. It's like it's like for that movie 147 where that guy's like stuck in the boulder. They just do like a sad version of Stuck in the Middle. Stuck in the middle. Like. Oh,
that would be unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But yeah, we're gonna start working on our album. We're gonna start working last year, but a lot of us, well, maybe about half of us in the band are really, really worried about COVID.
Oh, like, yeah.
We're like not gigging, not playing. But lately, most of those people that have had the issues, namely me, and we just got vaccinated. So it looks like maybe coming up here soon, we'll start tracking for the album. And that's going to be a full length, so that's going to take a couple months. But I'm really excited for that because it's been a while. It's been a while in the making, and it's going to be nice to put it out. And like this past year, we did the Quarantine for a Cause, and we did a bunch of songs, and I released them individually on our Facebook, and we were getting a lot of love from crazy places, man. Like like Chile and Venezuela and Mexico, and it was just nice, man. Like 2020, as much as it was kind of a bummer to not play shows, it also kind of exposed us to people who don't normally have the time and sit and listen to these global ska bands. Like everybody knows Tokyo Ska, but there's so many other amazing like worldwide bands.
Yeah.
Oldians is one of my favorite bands of all time. Like I love the Oldians. Like it's just
They're from Spain, right?
Yeah. Really cool dudes.
I thought the fact that you said that kind of reminds me too of all these virtual fests that were going on all around the world, and
weren't those great, dude?
Dude, they exposed us to so many bands that I had never heard of.
Like Dropcase? I heard Dropcase.
Oh yeah.
I love Dropcase. I tell Lucas that all the time.
Did you hear the Pannonia All-Star Scott?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're where were they from?
I think that's Russia, right? Pannonia?
No, it was like Bulgaria or something. It was definitely something out there. But yeah, I've since gone and checked out a bunch of their videos and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
When I did the Supernova Ska Fest, they grabbed a bunch of artists from around the world.
Nice.
And it was really cool to get turned on to all this different music that in any other year you would have been too busy with your own thing in your bubble.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Man. I mean, everybody knows how to break bread now. It's a good thing. It's a good, useful thing to know.
Yep.
Everybody knows how to swipe down their feed to make it refresh. They got like calluses on this finger. Just, I know I was doing a lot of that, man.
a lot of.
Yep.
I know. Facebook was kind of, at least for me, Facebook kind of like won the pandemic.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
in the ska scene, for sure.
Yeah, I think that the stuff that Esteban was putting together really kind of like it gave us something to look forward to. Because like normally when I see online shows, I don't normally watch. It's not that I don't want to or not to have something against it, but it's just like you said, we all kind of have like this go thing going on. So like sitting down and watching a show just seems kind of like why,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
The pandemic kind of just made everything slow down. So like I remember when that show came out, I got my drink together, got my jazz cigarette ready or whatever, and I watched the thing. I watched the stream and just kind of like, it was a nice respite from all the craziness,
There's a lot of I've seen some Facebook groups and just some groups in general that do like watch parties for those.
Nice.
I sat in on one for the last Slackers live stream. So yeah, the Slackers have, I mean, they like took it and ran with it. But I think even more so than I guess they'd be in the same. It's kind of neck and neck, but Chris Murray, dude.
Oh yeah.
Every Thursday you can count on Chris Murray going live.
Chris Murray is one of the, like, no joke, Chris Murray is one of my favorite musicians of all time. Easily.
Yep.
Like, easily. The Chris Murray combo albums, especially Why So Rude, is just, like, hugely influential to me. Like, me and Chris and his brother Bryant, we used to listen to that and try to work out harmonies and work out all sorts of stuff. Like a lot of my guitar playing comes from Chris's, like the way he plays and stuff. Yeah, and he always puts on a show every week, and there's always a theme.
Yeah.
This week I'm playing, two-tone, or this week I'm just playing, slackness. Yeah, Chris is great, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, and so I think it was this week or maybe last week he celebrated a year of doing his live streams. Everybody's hitting their year of doing whatever their online thing is, right?
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy, we've been a year into it. I think we're coming up on like 2 or 3 weeks from now. Would have been when I caught COVID last year.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That was a crazy time, man. That was like when we didn't know anything.
Yeah.
That was when 15 cases locally was scary AF. You know, and then now we have like 100 or 200 a day. People are like, "Well, it's down from 300."
I know.
I'm like, what? That's not a good number, bro. That's not...
We get desensitized. Everything kind of normalizes. Yeah, I remember around that time. So let's see. I want to say it was February of last year.
Yeah.
Is when I went to LA and we recorded. And
right.
It was right before. I think the pandemic already was going on, but it wasn't. Nobody here was aware that it was here yet. Because I don't remember anybody worrying about that when I was there.
Nope. I don't remember that either.
It was just a few weeks after, maybe like a month after.
It's so crazy, huh? Like how it was like a week or two that like kind of like shifted the whole way we did things. Like nuts.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was one of my buddies. This is when like people didn't know anything about Corona. One of my buddies showed me a video. I used to work for Apple doing customer care, and we're on our break. And my buddy shows me this video. He's like, "Hey, have you heard of coronavirus?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Apparently it turns your blood purple." I'm like, "Your blood purple?" And he showed me a video where like some like, doctor was like, took Corona blood. And I was like, well, who has access to Corona blood? And why are they posting videos on TikTok,
That's like a HIPAA violation.
Yeah, super. So yeah, but I remember, man, like it was nuts the first couple months, dude. It was pretty scary, dude. I remember when it was like, remember somebody opening the door for you was equivalent to somebody taking a bullet for you?
Oh, wow.
You get that, and you're like, thank you. I don't want to touch that door. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. You're a kind man. You're a good man.
Everybody got really good at opening doors with their feet and like holding them.
Fucking ninja moves. Yeah.
No, man, I remember as a joke, like at church and stuff, and we stopped shaking hands and we would just like tap our feet like kid and play style.
Yeah, he was like,
big up, abrazo desde Peru, Daniel Ciudad. And saludos, Jose Molina. We're doing good here, man. We're just chilling out, hanging out with Ray here from Bakersfield. And the Rhythm, you guys got to check out the Rhythm Ambassadors Facebook page. I thought that performance that you guys just did, the one that you were talking about for the live stream, it was so good.
Okay. Thanks, man. Thank you.
You guys hit some really good classics in there, and I'm not saying that because I popped in for a second or two.
Oh man, yeah, the original stream where you weren't on there.
Oh.
So I'll tell you a story about that. So it was literally no one's fault. Like it was just a perfect storm of like, I wouldn't say miscommunication, but just like I talked to Esteban very early about it, very early when he was planning. So he probably booked a few more bands than he should have. But we had agreed on 30 minutes. And when it came time to it, I sent him all the stuff. And he, because I was a little confused, I thought that they were going to edit it together.
Oh.
But that wasn't the case. And I handed in all the raw videos and he's like, wait, what? And so Patty, bless her heart, she does, she's the barista. She has her own coffee. I forgot the name, but she does coffee and it looks awesome. I'm gonna get some from her when I go to LA next. But she offered to do it, but it was just like having to edit 6 videos in like 8 hours. So it was just somewhere in the mix, like your videos got cut out, but it wasn't just you, dude. Like there was like a certain time in one of the videos where like I'm doing like a solo and it's like me playing rhythm guitar, and I'm just like. There's a 6 solo, like not 6 solo, but there's a solo going on, and I'm just like, holding down, you know, like holding down those chord notes or whatever. Pretty good.
Hey, you know, at least it made it out in time, right?
Yeah,
it got the deadline. That's what's important.
Yeah, but when I put it on my Facebook, I fixed it.
Yeah,
Got you in there.
I saw it, and then I immediately regret it. I was like, "Oh man, the other version was better. Take me out of it."
What it is? Okay, like the whole reason you did that is Bakersfield, because when we playing in Bakersfield, how do I choose my words here? Like, there's not a lot of.
Be very careful with what you say next.
There's a lot of really cool people here in the scene, but ska isn't exactly like profitable. That's not the word. Like, it's just not fashionable to be in the ska, you know? So like ska shows here, we'll have our friends come out, you know, and that'll be great. But like they're there because we're friends and they respect us being musicians and stuff. And you know, like they do like us, but it's just they're not like most of them are not ska people that came to see ska, you know, they're just supporting the band.
Right,
so, like,
right.
So like when we got out to LA, we played a show in LA and people were like really like receptive and like dancing. It was like, whoa, I guess we don't suck. I thought we sucked. I honestly thought that. I was like, man, when's somebody gonna tell me we suck? Like somebody just gonna be like, dude, you know, like cut it, you know, it's not going. But we played at the Slide Bar and the response was really cool, man. And it was like kind of like, all right, okay, cool. We're not terrible. Yes, okay. Let's work on that.
You just got to drive 2 hours to get that.
Yeah. And so on that note, the reason why I had you do the freedom or what'd you do? The guns and Navarone or whatever, all the toasting.
Yeah.
Because whenever we play those songs, we play in Bakersfield and no one's into it. No one's going to chant along with us. So like literally, it'll come to a part where it says Phoenix City, and none of us have the balls to say it because we look like idiots. So it just comes to that part, and it's just silent. Just we're just looking at each other. Just, you know,
nobody wants to do the front man.
Yeah,
the hype man. It's the hype man.
Yeah, like in LA, people would probably do it on their own. You know,
on the crowd, right?
Yeah, but,
for sure.
You know, but yeah, that's why we had to do it. You did a great job, man. Thanks.
Yeah, it was weird to do, but it came out good.
Mm-hmm. I like your move here. The point.
My camera's backwards.
It's not like a point like this. It's like a point like.
Oh.
like off to the right, slightly off to the right. Like, I see you. You know what I mean? You got like that Robert De Niro that you.
Oh, good bands both, Mr. Kingpin and Rhythm Ambassadors. Thank you, Daniel. We appreciate that. Daniel, see that from Peru.
Oh, that's what's up. What's up,
yeah.
Daniel? Vamos.
That's awesome.
Daniel's always been cool, man. That's what's up. But yeah, dude.
So you play a little bit. You've been playing a little bit with Matamoska over the last year or something.
On dates, but they haven't popped the question. I don't know. I'm starting to worry that they're seeing other guitarists. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just someone asked me to cover for a show or two, and then that show turned into like 3 or 4, and then it turned into 6, and then I started playing on the album. So it's just been fun, man. I'm just taking it.
Man.
They're all cool, and it's kind of fun to be playing like third wave tunes again. Me and Chris started off playing third wave together, so like it's kind of nice to just be in that realm again, you know?
Right. I mean, well, that kind of leads me into like, how did you get into ska music? What's the story?
Okay, so
I'm always interested to hear how people found ska music.
So this might be a uniquely California experience, but I was working in the fields because, you know, I'm Mexican and in California. And, so I was working for my school clothes. I was working, you know, just to get money for the school clothes. And I had a Walkman, and my Walkman had ran out of battery. So the cassette I was playing couldn't play, but I could play the radio. And I was listening to the local rock station. and there was a commercial for fucking 7-Eleven. And in the commercial for 7-Eleven, in the background was just like vague ska, just like kind of just like, you know, like a horn line and some, you know, just like a almost some like two-tone army kind of vibe, you know. And I was like, that sounds like kind of cool, you know. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then I used to get AP magazine because I used to be a big like punker. I used to be really into punk and in like pop punk or whatever. And they had a like top 20 bands of some year, and they had a picture of Big D in the kids table.
Oh.
And I was like, wait, those guys have horns. I'm like, maybe they play that type of music that I heard on 7-Eleven, on the 7-Eleven commercial. So I looked up Big D in the kids table, and the first song that came up was My Girlfriend's on Drugs. And I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna fuck with that because I'm a punk, but that sounds funny to me, yeah. I mess with that. So I heard it and I liked it, and then I started getting into it. And I didn't really get super duper duper into it until I met Chris. And that was yeah, Chris had a big part of me getting into ska.
It's your fault, Chris.
It is definitely your fault, bro. I remember I went to a Suicide Machines, Pennywise, No Use for a Name show. And I always get this story wrong. I always think that we met in line, but Chris says that we saw each other in line, but that when we went inside, they saw me getting into the pit and they were like, dang, that guy's gonna cause some damage. Something like that, right?
Yeah, because you're like 7 foot tall, just for everybody.
Yeah,
if you guys don't realize with the camera.
Like, I'm tall, like,
dude.
6'4". So where was I?
So you were gonna cause some damage.
Oh yeah. And I just remember because Suicide Machines wasn't first. So I was like watching it, they were like, dang man, that guy's like knocking people around. And then when Suicide Machines started, I was at the front and they were playing all their punk stuff because they're at a punk show, and I'm like, play some ska. And then like Chris is like, oh hey, like I don't remember exact like series of events, but he asked me at some point, he's like, you like ska, man, or something? I was like, hell yeah. And it was like, and then he was like, you're gonna dance? I'm like, you got to, man, it's ska, or something like that, something cheesy. But
so then the Step Brothers thing happens. Did we just become best friends?
Yeah. And then, yeah, and then I saw him there, and we kind of like talked for a little bit, but we didn't really, we didn't say, oh, let's hang out, bro. But I started going to Bakersfield College, and one day I walk up right into the front, right where the quad's about to begin. There's like a bunch of buses where they catch the buses. And I walk up and I see this dude. Like, imagine Chris with a pompadour, dude. He had a fucking straight up like 80s like pompadour going on. And he was like, hey, remember me from the show? I was like, oh yeah, whatever. And that's how we hit it off. And
wow.
The first song we ever played together was Murder the Government by NoFX. And then right after that, straight into a fucking Big D song. And I just remember we looked at each other. It's like, dude, we both can play and like ska. Wait, what? Like, because it's always like you find a drummer. It's like, you heard of ska? Please tell me you heard of it. And they're like, no, but I can play it, I guess. It's like, no. You need somebody who likes it. Somebody who. It's like people get really good drummers and have them play ska. What they need to do is they need to find a really good ska drummer.
And you know how hard that is.
It's super hard. That's why Chris is one of the best ska drummers alive.
Yeah, like, for sure.
Sure.
Bar none.
I've been talking to him, and his brother is not as known, but his brother is top 5 ska bassist I've ever heard too.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's this thing. I'm not sure if you've ever experienced this, but you know when you write something and you have a certain vision for it, and you present it to the band, and they kind of do their thing to it, and it starts becoming a little bit less of what you originally intended.
Yep.
And sometimes that can kind of hurt, right? Or it feels weird. But with Bryant and Chris, they have this uncanny ability to play exactly what I'm thinking, like exactly where I'm going, if not better. So that's like, they just have a really good sense of like their jamming abilities are second to none. Like they could just jam on anything. And so that's kind of how I got my jamming chops. Like I just
Oh man, that is
all the time and jam for nothing. No gig, no band. It would just be me, him, and Brian. We would just play in the garage.
those were the days, right?
Huh?
Those were the days, right?
Oh, man, good times, dude.
When you would just jam with no expectation of gigs or albums or having to keep up with something. Yeah.
Yeah, before you have the burden of knowing that you can get paid for what to do.
And then after that, the burden of finding out you can't get paid for playing ska.
Exactly. But yeah, man. Yeah, Chris, dude. Chris got me into ska. I remember him early on. I was really only into third wave, and he would play me a ska light song every once in a while. He'd be like, "What do you think about this?" And I'm like, it's a little repetitive, and he'd just be like, "Damn it." And he just kept doing that. Like every once in a while, try to get me to like Scatolites, you know? I was young, dude. I had just gotten off being nothing but punk. So I was like slowly ramping down.
Right.
And I mean, I still love punk, but I mean, like your taste kind of mellow and evolve. And so, yeah, and then he played me Scalloween. And I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, oh, this I like. This I like. He's like, yeah.
That was a great comp.
Huh?
That was a great comp.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
And the second one was even better.
Oh yeah, wasn't it?
It was like, well, I remember that's how I first heard about Inspector 7. Was on the Scalloween compilations.
Oh no, I'm talking about the song Scalloween from Specials. It was on the album Greetings from Scamania.
I got you.
But once you play that song, I was like, all right. And then I got into Hepcat and C-Spot, and I'm a very West Coast dude. I'm not opposed to East Coast ska at all, but that's just what I learned. You know, I'm sure you know of a lot of Dallas fans that I've never heard of. But
well, we don't have the advantage here of that huge history that you guys do. Like the coasts have, just like with American history, the coasts got everything first. And although I have to say the Dallas scene is pretty impressive. I think a lot of people are underestimate it when they come through on tour and stuff like that. We can get pretty decent crowds any night of the week for a good ska show.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that
I had never heard of Reed King before I started doing this with you. And I'm surprised I hadn't heard of you guys. You guys were a really, really solid band, dude. Like, really good band.
I appreciate that.
Like, for me, it's like, that's kind of what I liked about ska. It's almost like collecting basketball cards. Like, you found this new band you like, oh, shit. Hey, bro, check this out. Have you ever heard of, like me and Chris, the Hippos?
Oh, yeah.
With the Hippos, dude, the Hippos are the best. Like, Hippos, man. Most underrated ska band of all time right there.
So did you go to Ska in the Park?
No! No, I didn't. I was either going to go or wanted to go. And there's a bunch of stories related to this, but Chris went.
Yeah.
And he bought me a C-Spot CD.
Oh, cool.
And, I guess I did, I didn't have money for it at the time or didn't pay for it, so I ended up being his CD. But I just remember, that's my main memory about that was that C-Spot played there, and I didn't get to see them. And that was, one of the last shows they played.
I got to see them because I was there. So Rude King, that was our very first road trip, was to play at Ska in the Park. And then I found out not too long ago that Chris played with the band that he was in at the time.
Oh, Suppressors?
No, it was before that. He showed me a picture of himself. He was just a kid. This would have been 2009. Huh?
Chris Borman?
Yeah.
Oh, then it might have been.
He might have been sitting in with a band.
Yeah, it might have been Captain Crunch. Maybe.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Captain Crunch and the Serial Killers. Yeah, that's the homies band.
So we were at the same fest.
Man, I missed it. I heard it was great. I heard it was a lot of cool sets.
Yeah, that was it was an eye opener of us because, well, being from Dallas,
Right.
Actually, I take that back. In the 90s, I went to, in Dallas, in the 90s, there was a lot of stuff coming through. And Mike Park did the Ska Against Racism tour. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't remember if that was before your time or not. It was like 90. Well, I don't know how old you are, but I'm 44.
Well, thank you. I mean,
And you look younger than me, so.
I'm 35.
Okay. So this would have been like 90, maybe like
how old
90.
are you?
44.
No way.
Yeah, man, I'll be 45 here in a few months.
No way, man.
Yep.
Listen to 45, man.
It's my Asian heritage.
You look like
Helps me to hide my age.
you look like Super Mario got a really nice job in coding, you know? He's left behind the Mushroom Kingdom. He's doing coding now for, you know.
He settled down.
He's settled down.
He's got a mortgage.
He
And
let go of Peach. Him and Samus Aran are just hanging out in the cosmos.
oh man, I wish it was like that.
That's a joke, bro.
I got my Mario hat here somewhere.
Put it on.
I don't know where it is right now.
I'll take care of that for you right here.
We'll just blue screen that.
just with your mouth in there like Conan, like just blah 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 blah.
Man, I forgot what we were even talking about at this point.
I think we should talk about your album, right, bro? Eventually.
Eventually. Oh man. So that was another thing we were trying to get done throughout this whole year was that album. And between lockdowns, and people getting sick or
I got sick, I hurt my hand, I hurt my foot. I remember that.
Yeah. And the funny thing is you would think, I mean, supposedly like with everybody being locked down or working at home and thing, like that's another one where you think, oh yeah, I'll have all this time to do all these things.
But you really don't.
You don't.
You really don't. It's weird. Like people don't really account for like mental rest. They just go from thing to thing to thing to thing without a second to breathe.
Yeah.
And they wonder why they're so exhausted. So it's like, dude, it's like, cause you're drowning yourself, really drowning yourself in stuff.
And I think it was easy to do during this year because of the fact that we're home a lot more than we're used to being. And so we're just trying to find things to do to occupy our time. And I mean, a lot of people have learned new things, picked up new skills or hobbies.
Right.
I mean, I started doing all this stuff.
You're doing a good job, man.
For Supernova last year.
Yeah, I remember that. For with Cooling Ranks, right?
Yep. And then I was helping him with his, and but like my work has started picking up over the last few months, so I have to get back to work, do my 9 to 5.
You do graphic work, right?
I do graphic work on the side. I'm a systems admin, so.
Oh, nice.
So I am able to do a lot of stuff from home, but it's you could still pack yourself out. And I know with finishing our album, it was definitely it was like it took some work. It took some work on my end too. Like
yeah, it's a lot of organization.
Yeah, and then for me it was hard because I didn't sing for a while after Rude King was done. So right. I had to like get my voice back in shape to record that album. I would do like, so for everybody that doesn't know, or I should say before we're done, make sure today you still have some time. It's Bandcamp Friday. So if
pick up that Ska-core Cartel.
Yes.
That came out today.
Ska-core Cartel just launched today. It's a new record label out of California, right? Slash.
And they came out with a compilation.
And yes, so you guys should definitely check that out on Bandcamp. we have our single for Mr. Kingpin, Think Again,
Is on there.
on there. And so many bands right now are got good stuff out there. Catbite. Did you see what Catbite has today?
No, I'm not too familiar with Catbite, to be honest.
Oh,
which I'm probably late on, I'm sure.
Oh, check them out. They're from Philly. And it's like ska mixed with a little bit of rock and roll and some other stuff. It was what's his name from the Snails? You know the Snails, right?
Oh yeah.
Tim.
Yeah, and it has that girl with the short blonde hair.
Yeah, it's his wife, and so Tim Hildebrand, and actually I think the bass player too. I forgot his name right now, but
oh, you know what? I think I have heard of them. I think I seen a live performance they did online. They were like in some I don't want to say a cafe, but they were just on this little stage. I have to look at it, but I have seen it. And the dude plays a Rickenbacker, right?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
I've seen them before. Yeah.
So today for Record Store Day, they did like a folk, almost like a country version of their whole album.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, and the instrumentation's completely different. It's like really stripped down. It's really cool.
Love that. Like I said earlier, interpretations are my thing, man. I love that.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of an ingenious thing to do. Is just flip your music on it over and just give it a whole new sound.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially what people do with dub albums,
Right.
We love those. We love those.
I mean, because you got ska bands always take covers of regular songs and make them ska songs. Mm-hmm. But how many bands take the ska album and turn it into something else?
Oh my god.
Ponder.
Just come up with an album called "I Fixed It."
I fixed it.
Just all these ska songs turned into good songs, quote unquote good songs.
I thought you were gonna say into norteñas.
The norteñas, that's it.
Bum 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 bum.
Don't play with me, dude. I might have to bust out my vihuela over here. Somewhere over here.
Pull out my bajo sexto.
Oh snap!
Don't. Instruments, you gotta love it. Yeah. So Bandcamp, there's Bandcamp Fridays the rest of today. Please also check out the Rhythm Ambassadors. Do you guys have anything on Bandcamp right now?
No.
Boy, you need to get on that.
I know. I was thinking of taking all the Quarantine for Cause songs and just putting them up for free.
Yeah.
Which is something I kind of thought about before, so I might do that. I don't know why I haven't. I was waiting till we got our album done, but I guess it's better no better time than now, right?
That's right. Those are.
And Hammer Bros. We're waiting to get those songs in, but hopefully we'll be saying something publicly in like the next month. All
right, cool, very cool.
Yeah. And then Vanity Avenue, they just exist forever, man. I mean, that band's been around for 20 years here in Bakersfield. We're like essentially like that's my quote unquote, that's my gigging band, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah. So that one is the most kind of has the most history in Bakersfield.
Yeah, so that's the one that plays bars and plays like these long 4-hour gigs.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I could do something like that because it is fun to play covers and stuff, especially is it covers you guys do or is it originals?
Oh, it's both. It's
okay.
Covers and originals. Yeah, it's fun. It pays the bills and we played some really cool shows, man. I mean, some really cool shows. Like we opened up for Sublime. We opened up for the two remaining members of Sublime. Back before it was Sublime with Rome.
Oh, okay.
They had the dude from Long Beach Dub All Stars playing guitar and singing. But yeah, those are pretty much the three things I'm doing, man. Rhythm Ambassadors. Oh, I'm doing some like some hush hush stuff for like some Japanese stuff, but
oh yeah, I think you told me about that.
yeah, but it's just that I don't have much information as where it's going, so I can't really be like, they're gonna be like, where?
Right. That's with Esteban, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, so we've been cranking out a bunch of ideas for that.
And you said you've sat in with bands too in the LA area, haven't you?
Well, just Matamoska. I've played on a couple of band songs. Like I did a couple of songs for that band ONK in LA for Esteban. I do a bunch of his like 1 minute melody stuff. But yeah, I just mostly just play with those bands, dude. Mainly.
Right on, man.
Yeah, it's been fun. I'm also this past year I've been kind of planning to open a barbecue restaurant. Starting off as a food truck and then eventually going off into a barbecue restaurant. But yeah, man, the pandemic just kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of made me think like, all right, well, I have all this time, like, what am I gonna do? You know?
Yep. It made some people became entrepreneurial.
Yeah, and you know, my friends have always said like, dude, like, you know, you should open a restaurant, or dude, like, you should sell plates and stuff like that. And like, I'm just kind of like, oh, you guys are just being kind, you know. But like, one of my younger friends, he's only like 19. His name's Frank. He's my godson's brother-in-law. But he's a great dude, great kid. And he just asked me a question one day I couldn't answer. He was like, so why don't you just like do it or whatever? I'm like, well, because there's a lot of stuff going on. He's like, well, you know, these people are doing this. And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess. And he's like, well, what's your excuse? And I'm like, well, you know, and he's like had an answer for everything. And I was like, you know, right. You know what, you're right. You know, so I like started putting a lot of time into research and development. I'll be eating more barbecue this year than anybody probably should.
I will definitely have to visit and
feel free, man. Anytime.
And try that out.
Yeah.
I am already making plans to go to California.
Yeah, you're always welcome in my home, man.
In the fall, so I was supposed to go, but then it got really bad. I think that big wave of Corona happened, and we canceled our plans. But we'll be over there in the summer, late summer, for sure. Yeah, so we'll have to.
What?
Well, we'll have to connect when I get over there.
Yeah, I have to come up with a Mr. Kingpin menu item.
Oh, that would be cool.
With a little mustard, Jesus Christ, a little mustache on it.
A little mustache.
A little mustachioed hamburger.
I tried to get it to stay, but my wax wasn't working with me today.
See, this is what I like to see. Mustache, baby. Mustache crew running wild. You know what I mean?
That's right. It's all about the stash life.
You know, from carpenter to porn star, you can just bring them back. just
I like
across the board. Bring them back, baby.
And flavor saver.
Oh yeah, the flavor. I mean, come on.
All
our
right.
wives can't be wrong. You know, like mustaches look great. I choose to think that my wife has the best taste on earth. It's a very convenient way to feel.
There you go. So this has been Mustache Talk.
Yeah, this has been Mustache Talk
with Ray and John.
Yeah.
Well, Ray, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. It was a good time. We'll have to get together over video more often and and chat with the boys.
We eventually need to do one of these with all four of us.
Yes. We could do that. We could totally do that.
Yeah, we should. Like maybe right before the album comes out, we do like a Mr. Kingpin one or something.
Yes. We'll do like a virtual release party.
And we'll do it like those reunion shows where like they fight after the fact. Oh yeah, I saw what you said. I saw what you said about me in that confessional.
Behind the music.
Yeah. You said I was flat.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, I'll be talking to you, bro. Anytime. And anytime you're in Bakersfield, you're always welcome to our home. I'm sure Chris would say the same, dude.
And same to you. If you guys ever make it down to Dallas, you got a place to stay.
I will certainly come inconvenience you.
Right on. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Again, check out Ray Vargas and the Rhythm Ambassadors on Facebook. Hammer Bros. Do you get a Facebook page for that, man?
Yeah, we are. We're certainly doing that.
Yeah, I was looking for it the other day. I was like, "Don't you guys have a Facebook page?" And you're like, "No, not yet."
Yeah, I was just waiting until we had like a song for people to hear. You know?
Yeah, I got you. But well, right on, man. And we'll see you guys next week. Oh man, who do I have next week? I know
it's not Nina, is it? No, Nina's in a couple weeks.
Nina's in a couple weeks.
I think it's
Hold
on. Queen P.
Queen P is later. In fact, I don't even know if I've added. Did I officially add that one yet?
No, but you should.
I did. No, it's official. I don't think I officially said. So, yep, from Ocean 11.
She is the best. She's always been really nice to me.
Yeah, I can't. Oh wait, here we go. Okay, so what's today? The 2nd. Oh, so next week we got Paul Tucker, Duck from Joystick from New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They just released an album on Bad Time Records, so Duck's going to be on the show with me next week.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
This is past Ray saying, "What's up, Duck?"
Will do.
Duck.
All right, guys, we're out. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.